What's up, everybody in the world, the World Wide Web? Get this music going away. All right, I have not very many people paying attention, but that's okay. My hair is going crazy. Whoa. So I was just sitting here thinking about this week. I'm sitting here thinking about what am I doing? How am I going to do it? And how can I do it better? And Grim got on here, and I don't know if he's scolding me. What's up, Chad? We're supposed to tell you what to do to get better, which means there aren't enough of us for you liking. I don't know the rules, Grim. Nobody told me the rules. Nobody has told me the rules. You're telling me the rules right now. Okay. Hey, Chad. I know Grim's got a stream coming up. President Foxman has a stream coming up. And so I just was going to try to sneak in here. Leveraging a network. So, I mean, Grim does this with his Discord. And he's very good at all these kinds of things. So when CW Weeks had me put on a Dr. Roy Clauser, that was something called leveraging a network. He knew a guy, and he knew a guy. He knew me, and he knew Roy. And he wanted Roy to be heard more in different spaces than Roy was being heard. And so he reached out to me to see if I would have a conversation as a mediocre armchair philosopher and theologian. And hey, Pete Strange. And I was like, yeah, that sounds fun. And he leveraged his network to make a conversation happen. And then his network with Paul Vanderklay, he spent quite a bit of money, of his own money, to promote that conversation. And this is how things work in the world. There's, ad agencies. And if you want to learn deeply about how we're controlled by advertisement, I encourage everyone to get involved in watching Griswold Grimm's channel. However, so I've done about 20 podcasts since I've been on here since January. I enjoy doing them. I would like to do more. I've got 6, I think, in the backlog that'll be coming out over the next two weeks or so. And I've got a conversation scheduled for today. If you are looking at my ticker here, leveraging a network, send someone to the Yours Truly podcast. And I have my channel email, like, share, subscribe, and all that BS. So if you would like to, if there's a conversation that you think would make sense, that there's an honest person that you want to try to, that you want to try to have an honest conversation about what they're about, and they maybe don't have a platform, or you want to bring them from another platform into this space, make it happen. If you think that makes sense. There's something really beautiful about this flotilla of channels. Grim and Chad, it's strange. They're all on here. I've all had conversations with all of them. And so I will probably try to come Wednesday night. Chad, that sounds good. And I don't exactly know. This stream is wrong-headed from Grim. And we're supposed to tell you what to do to get better, which means you aren't enough of us. Well, Grim's been telling me, hey, use your music studio. So I did that this week in a song, and connected that to Karen Wong from the Meaning Codes art from a podcast conversation we had. And then I opened up the Truly Strange show with a drum cover, and I practiced doing a live stream drum cover earlier. It was when you hit record, if you're a musician and you've tried to record in a studio, you know this, that, you can be doing it fine before the button turns red and the red light's on. But when you're live, the adrenaline kicks on and your brain kind of gets separated from what you're doing, and you get distracted. So I was a little bit more choppy than I normally am on that. But Papa said, guys need so little encouragement. That's true. That's a coded message. Thank you, Grim. It's kind. I think it is anyways. Kind. Yeah, but yeah, so if you're out there and you see this, you've paid attention to my channel, and if you're one of the few people that's made it through my long form podcast conversations. Um, and there's somebody out there that you know in your real life that you're wanting to try to maybe get into this conversation, or they have ideas that would be interesting for this conversation, send them my way. Send them anybody's way. Send them to Pete the Strange on Strange Theology. Send them to Chad the Alcoholic on the Friday Morning Nameness. See if Graham Grizz wants to have a fringe encounter with this person. So those are, but this is what's called leveraging a network. You know, this is a network. This image that I use, like this one, I'll not, well, I can't really show them by myself here. But the images that I use, like on my computer screen behind me, that's a network, and it all coalesces into a beautiful mandala shape, and it's a nodal network. And that's what these are. These channels are nodes, and if you want to tap somebody into the node to get their ideas out there, we have some space to do that, and I have some space to do that, even though it's not a very, large node on the network. It is a node. So, I'm interested in interesting things, interesting people, interesting ideas. And if you've paid attention to my show, then you might think something lined up like CW Weeks did with Dr. Roy Clauser. And he's used that. So what he did with that is he actually took that podcast and he mailed it out on a listserv from a certain church's listserv, and he put it out there. And so leadership in that church, in that denomination, got access to Dr. Clauser's conversation with me. And it was really powerful. And it really was, it was interesting how it all worked out. So the most is to find, or let's see what he's saying there. Send only the strange people to Pete. And Chad said, the most difficult thing to find or fall into is a network. And here we have it. It's true. And that's one of the things that, as somebody who has come in later into this network, this community, I thought it was pretty clear to me of what it was. And so that took me like a month or so to kind of wrap my head around, but begin to see that. Let's see. Chad's also doing some advertising on here. We've got some eyeballs on here. Block your calendars, August 2025, y'all. He's got Friday Morning Nameless is wanting to put on Breakwater American Festival. I don't know if I'm saying that right, and Graham, Christian, I love what you're doing here, bro. I get intimidated by how quick-witted and vocab and image-rich this space gets. It's all over my head, but your calm listening is fresh air. Thank you for the feedback. Guys, and Graham, this is a great, see, here it is, feedback loop. Graham and I had a conversation. Graham's conversation is very interesting. It'll be coming out next week. So I wanted to let you know. Graham has written a book about orthodoxy, but Graham is currently not in orthodoxy, so pretty interesting. And then here's another one, great, while we have moments and eyeballs. Pacific NorthwestUary, September 24, 2024. That's, I think, with the estuary movement, the estuary network, estuaryhub.com, I think. Nate Heil and John Van Donk. And I don't know who, those are the names I know, but I think there's a group of people who are not those names that are putting on a conference. So, but then that's not the name anymore. It's MidWestU. We're so put together as a network. So, but yay for the information and the promotion. And yeah, so this is leveraging a network. I'd like, one of the things Luke Thompson challenges people on is mammon. And Tom Lukeson, his alter ego that Chad and Neil put out on Friday Morning Nameless. I like how he's out front with it. And I think it's so important. I want to continue that in being like, okay, look, it's like, share, subscribe. Oh, look, we have a network. Oh, look, we can promote things almost to just, I'll use this as an example. When I used to work at a church and they were like, let's give this a cool name. Let's give this a cool name like Thrive or like, uh, you know, I don't know, some other name. And I was just always like, why don't we just call it college ministry? Make a cool image, college ministry for X church, whatever church it is. Not try to be like, this has to have a cool name, because I feel like you're strange theology. Flame college ministries. That's getting a Mammon is my sandworm. I don't even know. Oh, Black Mountain. I'm ready for Black Mountain. Let's all go have coffee, Jordan Hall, Black Mountain. South Estuary. Okay, that's where it is. That's where I missed the joke. Jordan Hall's place. South Estuary. So, yeah, well, here we're talking about a network, and what do we have? We have something like conversation to give. Well, that's Estuary, but I would venture to say that's also what TLC is. Something is conversation. Pete released his conversation with Luke Thompson this morning as a premiere. It was really cool. And one of my early videos, 3-hour conversations changed the world. That's why I'm here. I listened to hundreds of 2 and 3 hour conversations, and I was tired of listening only. I still like to listen. And so, honest voices, honest conversations. If there's somebody, as I say down here in my little ticker, I finally got working, is if there's somebody you think is interesting, or it's you, and you're wanting to have a conversation, like Graham mentioned earlier, there are different formats in this corner. There's hop on to a Paul Vanderklay, pick his brain, Friday, shoot your shot. There's the Grail Country, Luke Thompson, digital hospitality, all are welcome, voices everywhere, and, a sense of controlled chaos. And then some, Chad and myself. Chad does some creative things on Friday Morning Nameless with Neil. And then something I've been trying to do, and something I think like Sam Tiedman enjoys doing, is individual long form. And Sam brings a lot of information. Mine's a little bit like counter information to the ideas. And I guess something I'm seeing is, for myself, is a little bit more interviewee, a little bit more. I know Chad does that as well. And so, anyways, man, we're having all sorts of conversations about where to have have small estuary conferences. I don't even know. Hey, get Harley. Okay. So this is my point. Hey, get him on. Help me get him on. Say, hey, Harley, I'm giving your information to Christian Baxter, and, let Harley know, and that I'll maybe reach out to him. That's the leveraging of the network, because I have no context for this person. So maybe send me information about Harley or the channel or whatever, and say, this is why I think this makes sense. Yeah, but that's a great example, Grim. So yeah, and then I thought I would just, I would highlight some things that I have coming up this week. I've got my twin comedian conversations with McMosif and Alan Engel, the Corner Citizen, are going to come out this week. And then I've got interesting conversation with a Protestant, Princeton educated, classical educator, now Baptist family pastor conversation coming out. I've got a conversation with a Bitcoin, not Bitcoin, an AI. Why can't I ever think of the word? He's not a marketer, even though an AI. when you consultant, there's the word. Let's see. At my status level, I just drop hot leads, but lurker participation instructions are helpful. Okay. Well, so lurkers, people that are not of Grim status, if you know how to get me in touch with a Harley cell binder and so bring ChatBeat GPT on. Yeah, I think Grim did that once. If maybe you're referencing that show and maybe saying, "Hey, Christian, do your perspective on ChatGPT." I'd have to sit down and think out some questions to have, but yeah, we could try that. That would be fun. Thank you, Anthony. Let me write some stuff down before the chat goes away. Harley Spellbinder and Chat GPT convo. All right. Some old stuff on my channel. I've had lots of really great conversation. I've had a conversation with everybody. I haven't had Chad on my channel, which that might actually be really cool. Chad, if you're still listening, I've had Grim, Pete was my Strange Theology was my very first podcast. He's getting some traction in the old TLC lately. So if y'all want to go dig back 2 months into my channel, that was my very first podcast. I had Pete the Strange from Strange Theology on. And let's see. We're called lurkers for a reason. Hey, well, lurk somebody into my email that that you think would maybe make a neat connection. Okay. Tell us about how close you are to 500 and how important subscriptions are. Okay, I don't know if he's 500. I'm almost to 500. So at 500 you can do with like 3,000 watch hours, you can have members on your channel, and then people can super chat. You can also have a merch store at 500 subscribers, and then you can also well, yeah, you can have a membership section. I don't know if I said that, but you can do super chat, membership, and merch on your store. So that is something like I've invested a lot into this space in my life, and I'm not able to do that as much anymore. And if there was a feedback mechanism to say, oh, I have an account and people want, if I keep doing this, people want to support it, just like people support a lot of other people on here, then like one thing I would like to do is in-person interviews, and I would like another camera to do that. So that is something that's in my mind to do that with. And we all have our reasons why we may not do things. I respect Chad so much. So community post at 500. Yeah. So here's what I'm trying to do. I'm trying to get my wife to help me celebrate 500 on, and maybe put something behind that we do behind the, like a membership thing. And you could see my wife, we sing a song or have an interview. So that's something that I'm contemplating. I'm putting that out there. If she watches this, who knows? But that's, I mean, I've talked to her about it, but, and so yeah, but I guess that would maybe be a community post at 500. Yeah, like maybe do a community live stream. Be fun. Celebration. Let me see. What was that? Grim. We all know you have a wife. Yeah, met her on the. I put in my description to ChatGPT, and they gave me a wonderful counterpart. Yes. So let's see. I don't know. We're getting close to 11 o'clock marker, and I want to support. President Foxman has a conversation coming out today on his channel, and so does who's got the Grim has an 11:10 stream, or he's got a stream too. So I wanted to point back to a couple. I have some of my big conversations on my podcast, my statist and my mammon conversations. Paul Vanderclay, Jordan Hall, Karen Wong, Brendan Graham Dempsey, My recent one on Sunday with Grim Grizz and one with Luke Thompson. Those are some of the ones that are my more popular. But I've had conversations with people in this chat. Corner Citizen. I've had conversations with Pete, Strange Theology. Anthony is in here. All the conversations. Graham is yet to be released. I'm excited about that one. So, yeah. But anyways, I got on here. I'll just give this one last push. Like you can say, leveraging a network, send someone to the Yours Truly podcast. If you're in here, we got 22 eyeballs on the screen right now. If there's people that you think would be interesting conversation on the Yours Truly podcast, send them my way. Send them my email. I got an email how I had my conversation with Alan. I don't know if Alan reached out to Neil or somebody, and then Neil sent me an email with Alan's Alan connected, and we got that conversation going. Oh, well, thank you, Grim, for your specificity. Here's our medical transcriptionist, or former medical. Actually, that's 44 eyeballs. You never know, Grim. Some people could be blind in one eye. There it is, Graham. Graham got in on it. What is this? Highlight reel for sure. Who said highlight reel? Okay. Make us a highlight reel. Okay, of conversation. Like, well, man, Grim, that's easy when you have an army, when you have your Discord Broken Clock Tower army to make you a highlight reel. Somebody want to help me make a highlight reel? Yeah, that would be awesome. I've thought about doing that. It is as Graham and I, or Grizz and I discussed on our podcast, it is a lot of work to try to, how you feel the content is, yeah, it is take time. So anyways, yeah, those were some of the conversations that have been popular. Obviously, the Dr. Roy Clauser, that hit a wider, deeply theological context. And yeah, I know Graham Pardun's on here. He is he's trying to get a conversation connection for me coming up. I'm excited about, and we'll see. But anyways, I wanted to put that out there. Thanks for hanging out, everybody. And for hive mind mining this information. Beholda. I don't even know what that means. Oh, let's see. Everyone, give President Foxman's conversation today a look. He's on here right now. It's coming up in just a few minutes on his channel. Conversation Combo with Bo. Very nicely titled, catchy. And it sounds like you're saying bye. I am getting close to the end, and I was trying to push some people to your channel, Noah. But yeah, leverage a network. That's what we're doing right now. Promoting other people's stuff. Oh, Mandy's on here. Graham, I like your Substack. Check out that connection. Graham's Substack is, oh man, I just blanked. Sabbath. What is it? Something Sabbath. Somebody help Mandy put it in here if you're listening. Graham, you can put it on here. It's Sabbath, not Sabbath Warriors. I feel like it's an alliteration. Sabbath Empire. There it is. Sabbath Warriors. Sabbath Empire, Graham Pardun's Substack. Go check it out. Let's see. This is where Twitch is better. You can raid and host other channels. I've got this going on Twitter, and I've walled off Facebook and Instagram at this point for right now, but we may go there someday. When's Foxman's? 9:30 his time, 11:30 our time, Central Time, Grim. So that means 30 minutes, and Grim's got one coming up in 10 minutes. So this is what I was talking about on my Truly Strange show last night. We start bumping into people's stuff. So anyways, fun times. I'm coming up on the 30-minute mark. Yeah. But I got on here, leveraging a network, and somebody Yours Truly podcast. You can send them my email, or you can email me and see if the conversation makes sense. And even with the, Paul Vanderklay has the model that there's certain people that don't want a full-on conversation, that they want one behind a paywall, like to keep it a little bit more private, but might make sense in a certain space. That could be a possibility coming up as well. So, thanks for everybody. Uh-oh. Is Grim laughing at me? Thanks everybody for hanging out and making me feel virtually not alone in the channel feedback and suggestion box live stream. Leveraging a network, send somebody the Yours Truly podcast. Check the email, like, share, subscribe, and all that BS. And let's hit 500. Oh, he's crying. Oh, he's crying about that he bumped you, or you bumped him. But yeah, guys, go check those wonderful fellas out. And with that, we'll give it a little closing branding. Thanks for hanging. Hi, this is Christian Baxter, and you're listening to Yours Truly, a place we go to think out loud.